Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Riley from the Goosebumps, guys, and today I'll be doing my, Stay Out of the Basement book review. Sorry, I forgot the name of the book for a second. I'm really excited because this book is a really fun read, and I just can't wait to share everything with you. So without further ado, let's get right into our first category, the blurb. Live plants. Dead people. Dr. Brewer is doing a little plant testing in his basement. Nothing to worry about. Harmless, really. But Margaret and Casey Brewer are worried about their father, especially when they meet some of the plants he's growing down there. Then they notice that their father is developing plant-like tendencies. In fact, he's becoming distinctly weedy and seedy. It is just a part of their father's harmless experiment? Or, wait, is it just a part of their father's harmless experiment? Or has the basement turned into another little shop of horrors? I really enjoyed that blurb a lot. I like the reference to Little Shop of Horrors, because if you haven't seen that movie, there is a giant, plant monster thing with a mouth, and, it's in the movie Little Shop of Horrors. I'll go up and I'll throw a little picture of it, like, somewhere, so you can see. But, anyway, without further ado, let's get right into our next category, the book. Okay, so this is the second book in the series. It was published in, July of 1992, and it has 122 pages, and the author is R.L. Stine. So yeah, this is the second book in the original series. And fun fact about the book, actually, is that the cover art's not by Tim Jacobus. He's the guy that does all the original cover arts. That's not his, though, because Jacobus was on vacation. So I think it still turned out really good, and I prefer this one over the actual Jacobus one for the 2003 reprints. But anyway, that's all pretty much that's going to be said, and now let's move on to the positives. Alright, positives about this book. I really like the story. I think it's an intense story, and it's also kind of graphic at certain spots. Like, I think that if you are a little kid and you read this, you will definitely be frightened. I mean, I read this, and I'm 14, and it's not frightening, but still a little bit disturbing at some points. Like at the end where they use an axe to, like, chop the dad. It's a whole thing. I'll explain it later. But anyway, that is pretty much all the positives. I don't really have many positives. Or, like, I have positives, like, I can't really say a specific thing that I like. I like the entire book, the entire story, the cover art, the color scheme. I think it's all perfect. I love this book, and it's a classic. So, that being said, let's move on to the negatives. Okay, now some negatives I have about this book. Actually, I have, like, no negatives at all. The only negative I have is that the episode is not 100% true to the book. It does change a few things. That does make sense, though, because there's some graphic things in here that you can't really show on TV, especially if it's for kids. But that's really my only negative. I don't think I have any negatives. Let me think for a second. No negatives, to be honest with you. It's a perfect book, in my opinion. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next category, which is book versus TV, I believe. So, without further ado, see you in that category. Alright, so you know the drill. Now I'm going to be reading all the differences between the episode and the book. So these are all the things that are in the episode, but aren't in the book. So, like, differences and things like that. So, let's start off with, the Brewer household is set in New York City instead of California. Dr. Brewer's companion from the Polytech campus is Dr. A. Merrick instead of Dr. Martinez. Margaret calls her mom in regard to her father's strange behavior, instead of calling to see how her Aunt Eleanor is doing. When Cassie and Margaret go into the basement for the first time, he takes his sweater off. In the book, he takes his shirt off. Mr. Henry, who happens to be the neighbor from the book, doesn't appear in the episode whatsoever. Cassie's friend Kevin isn't mentioned in the episode. The plant Dr. Brewer is killed by Margaret with a spray bottle of weed poison, but in the book, he's killed by the real Dr. Brewer with an axe. That's what I was talking about earlier. He was killed with an axe in the book, so that's pretty graphic for a kid's book. But anyway, let's move on. Margaret knows who her real father is when he calls her Princess, her old nickname. In the book, she finds out after pricking him with a knife to reveal red blood. That's another thing that they probably could not do in the actual show, because they can't show blood. This is the very last one. At the very end of the book, the single flower that nudges Margaret's ankle is small and yellow, whispering to her that he is her real father. In the episode, though, there are multiple flowers that do this. So you probably know that if you've seen the episode, which I recommend seeing it. It's free on YouTube, which is actually really crazy. That like most of the Goosebumps episodes are free on YouTube and free on Tubi as well. So you can just watch them all for free. It's really amazing, actually. If you want to watch Night of the Living Dummy 3, though, you have to have a Netflix subscription. That's what I've noticed. I don't know why that one's the only one not free. Anyway, episode fun fact. Stay Out of the Basement was released on VHS on September 3rd, 1996, and it did not get a DVD release. I'm not sure why. But anyway, the air date for the episode was January 27th, 1996. It was a two-part episode. Both episodes were released on the same day, which is wild because last book review, which was One Day at Horrorland, was also a two-part episode, but they were released a few days apart. These were released on the same day, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, with that being said, now we're going to move on to my final rating, and then I will send you off on your way. So without further ado, let's get right into that. Alright, now for my final rating, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, guys. I'm going to do it, guys. A 10 out of 10. That's my final rating for this book. It's a 10 out of 10. No questions. I just love this book. And the reason I didn't do a 10 out of 10 for One Day at Horrorland or The Werewolf of Fever Swamp is because there was a couple problems, and I did give them 9.5s out of 10. But this is a 10 out of 10. When it comes to the episode, most of it is the exact same, except the parts I said that were really graphic, which is, it gets a pass, because you can't do that on television. So, anyway, yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 book. I'm not gonna lie, kind of shocked me, but I reread the book not too long ago, and I just rewatched the episode before recording this video, and it is a really fun, enjoyable episode and a really fun, enjoyable book. So I recommend reading this book, and I recommend watching the episode. Again, you can do it whatever order you want because it's the same exact story pretty much. But if you want the extra spookiness, then this is the way to go. Read the book first. With that being said, I will see you guys later. I will send you on your way. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. It really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. Me and Bradley both do, which, if you did not know, Bradley is the second Goosebumps guy. He will be in another video soon because, actually, in the next week or so, we will be releasing our second episode of our Goosebumps show, Night of the Living Dummy. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really sick. I'm really excited for that. I'll keep you updated. But without further ado, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, or, depending on where you are, an amazing day. It could be morning, it could be night. I'm not sure. But just have an amazing day, have an amazing life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.